So I basically want to talk about the aquaponic system. This is our off-grid system that we have here in the desert out in Arizona. And I'm just going to go over some of the successes and failures we've had with our system to date. First thing I want to show you is our power station, which is right here. You can see the solar panels. We have four, if I can get this figured out how to do it backwards. We've got four solar panels that are rated at 130 watts according to the seller on eBay. And this fan up here is supposed to be about another 400 watts. So we're looking at a 600 watt system it's about 1,000 watts supposedly. I just don't think that's really the case. I think that you know, even with a good wind that we get out here in the desert and the sun, 600 watts would be probably more like what we're doing in the middle of the day, as opposed to the 1,000 that we're supposed to be getting. And there's a helicopter. So I'm going to show you the system inside. We're using batteries that we bought at Walmart. These are the deep cycle batteries that you can find in Walmart. Got four of them. That's EverStart Max. Let's see, I'm not sure how many amp hours they are. 114 amp hours. We have Missouri Wind and Solar is the dump load, which we end up, this happens about after 10 or around noon. It'll start dumping the load, and then we have our wind box that takes the three-phase AC down to DC. Everything's hooked up to the batteries, and then I don't know if you can see this under here, but I have an 8,000 watt power jack. This was also on eBay. This is our inverter, and it's actually a 220 with 110 outlets, so you have the option of running 220 volt objects as well. Okay, and over here behind me is the setup. We have two fish tanks made out of IBC totes, and this one is just used as backup water. As you can see, we have the duckweed in it. This is our main fish tank, which currently only has one fish in it. We lost some fish due to poor management on my part. We were having problems with the pH being too high. So it seemed to be running kind of high on pH, 7.7, 69.5. I added some muriatic acid or hydrochloric acid, which ended up killing the fish. And here's our sump tank, which is stuck. Now it's running. And you can see our spray bar, what it looks like. And this right here is our solid separator. This is basically a 55-gallon drum cut in half. We have water coming in. We've got the top of the drum that we cut off as a baffle. It runs at an angle, and it separates the solids, which have to go down to the bottom, and then the fresh, clean water comes up and into this pipe. Okay, so on my clarifier, I have this elbow. It's just facing upwards. It's kind of being used as a skimmer. The problem with that is that any floating solids would just simply go into the grow bed, and we can't have that. So what I did is I came up with this. It's about 2 inches, maybe 2.5 or so inches of 4-inch pipe, and it's got a notch in it so that I could set it down here, and as you can see, it blocks the floaters from getting into it, but it lets water go underneath and then over. And so that's a good little system to get fresh water in, but keep your solids from going in. I made this little loop to hang onto this pipe to lift up this side, and that's all there is to it. Alright, so what we're doing is we're draining the clarifier. What I do is I do the continuous bucket method. Just pull one out and another one under it. Okay, and just basically rinse off the sides. The plastic is pretty good about letting everything come right off easily. And over here is our nursery. As you can see, is we have a lot of lettuce coming up here. And over there is the first section is our romaine, and then you can see what I wanted to show you, this oak leaf. We're letting it go to seed, but we're just amazed at how big it's getting. This is the more romaine. That's the oak leaf lettuce, and as you can see, it's like a tree. It's got branches. It's just growing like crazy. And over here, you can see we got some buds growing on the leaves, just coming off of a branch, and it looks like a lot more buds coming up there. So we're gonna let this go to seed and see how big it gets. And we have some basil, some more romaine. Down here to our biofilter slash hydroton. These tomatoes are just going to town, and I don't know if you can see it, but I got one little tomato right here.
If you like our videos, please click the like, subscribe, and notification buttons.